In my opinion, winching is an integral part of four-wheel driving, and it's an additional tool that helps you get further, stay longer, and enjoy your four-wheel drive adventures to a higher experience. Now, they're great to have for self-recovery, and they're also great for recovering your mates who might be stuck in the bush. Now, here are my top 10 tips of what I think you guys need to know about winching and things you need to keep an eye out for. A winch is something that you can actually DIY install at home very easily. There are a couple of things you need to be careful of, and one of those is wiring. These are an electric motor. They draw a huge amount of current, and you need to make sure they're wired correctly. But the key is not just getting 12 volts to them directly from the battery, it's also getting the earth right. And earthing straight to the chassis or to the bull bar is not sufficient. So when you're wiring in your winch at home, make sure you run an earth all the way back to your starting battery. Now, if you are DIY installing a winch at home, one of the key things you need to know about other than wiring is the actual mounting of the winch itself. It's got to go into a cradle or a bull bar that is correctly mounted to the chassis and is built purposefully for winching to carry the extreme loads, but you've also got to orientate the drum the right way. You want the drum at the bottom or closest to the bolts where the fair lead is, to maximise the mechanical integrity so the winch is pulling through that mounting face and not pulling over the top and putting extra force through the bolts down below. Now, one of the things I love about carbon and one of the reasons I switched over to them is simply weight. Winches are quite heavy, but there are a number of things you can do by shopping around to save some weight. Just as an example, and to give you an idea of the innovation that carbon goes through, their 12,000 pound winch is actually the lightest, fastest, most efficient and strongest winch on the market. With the carbon 12,000 pounder, you're saving 9 kilograms. No loss of strength, the integrity of the strength and the housing is all there, but you're saving a whole lot of weight in areas where you don't need that extra mass. Now, steel cable everyone thinks is stronger, but it's actually not. The tensile strength of synthetic rope is stronger than steel cable. It also has less stretch than steel cable. Synthetic rope is far less dangerous if it snaps, and keep in mind, guys, that steel cable, if it does snap, can take somebody's head clean off, tear off the roof of a vehicle. It can be absolutely horrendous. So whilst it's clearly the case for synthetic is that it's lighter, safer and stronger, the case for steel on the other side is that it has the abrasive resistance. So if you're going to be winching over a lot of rocks, over a lot of jagged surfaces, then maybe steel is a better option for you. But for general purpose winching, the stuff that we do every weekend, synthetic rope, the safety factor and the weight factor means that it outweighs steel cable almost every single day. Now, a recovery kit is an important part of a winch because the winch is just one part of the equation. First of all, a tree trunk protector. You must use a wide, proper tree trunk protector that is going to protect the bark, spread the load, and allow you to winch safely without damaging the environment. You never, ever, ever wrap a steel or synthetic cable around a tree. The next thing you're going to need is a dampener. Now, a dampener will be a weighted device, a blanket, that in case anything goes wrong, whether it's steel or synthetic, that dampener is there as a safety device to pull the rope or the hook down to make sure it doesn't become a dangerous missile. Now, with that said, guys, don't just think that synthetic is lighter. It can snap and it is connected to a metal hook. It could be connected to a shackle. So a dampener is just good safety practice in any situation. The next thing you might need is a snatch block. Now, they're fantastic for improving the efficiency of your winching under extreme load conditions or for a winch redirect. So have one of those, know how to use it and keep it in your recovery kit. You're also going to need a few items to help you rig the setup that you need, whether it's using a pulley, a tree trunk protector, and it depends on your hook and your setup. But having a couple of soft shackles or rated bow shackles will certainly allow you to rig the setup you need to get you safely out. I get asked the question always, what's the free spool for? Well, the free spool allows you to disengage the gearbox and pull the rope out nice and easily. It's designed to work that way so you're not utilising the motor, and the key thing that it does is it means you're not working against the brake. In most cases with most winches, powering out that full distance of 10, 15 or 25 metres of rope, you're actually grinding against the action of the brake to do it. So guys, when you need to get the cable out, if it's more than a few metres, use your free spool, don't be lazy, drag the rope out, set yourself, lock the clutch back in and use your winch in the manner that it's designed to. These are powerful tools. They're going to save you in so many situations, so it's well worth knowing how to use it properly, but also ensuring that it lasts a long time. Now this tip is all about when you've got a winch, it's installed, you get out there and you are stuck and you've got to self-recover. How do you drive and winch at the same time? Well, it's really important that you understand how to do it and that you do it safely and the correct way. The whole idea is to get the wheels turning at approximately the same speed as the vehicle is moving. Spinning your wheels faster is just going to dig you down. It's damaging the environment. You're risking mechanical damage to your vehicle, and it's not assisting with the winching at all. So slow that tyre speed down, get the vehicle moving. It's all about utilising the winch and the traction of the vehicle to work together. Don't overload your winch, don't overload your vehicle, have it working at all the same speed and you'll get the best result out of your winching. Now that also raises the question about diff locks. I see a lot of people turn their diff locks off when they start winching. Now if you don't have a lot of corners, if you're doing a straight pull, which is what you should be aiming for with all of your winching, front and rear diff locks, put them on. Keep the tyres turning nice and gently. Don't overload the system, don't overload your winch, and let the two work together. Now the only other advice I'll give you in that, guys, is to think about right at the very start. Set your winch up, do it all safely, tree trunk protector, gloves, your winch dampener. Take the load up with the winch and feel the winch engage and load up so the weight of the vehicle is on it. Then be prepared to start driving. Engage drive, foot off the brake. The winch will hold the weight of the vehicle, start driving and winching at the same time, and you'll have a far better result. Let's assume you've wired it up correctly. You've got your power, your 12 volt and your earth right back to the battery. You've got clean power all the way through and your winch is running at optimal. Now when you start loading up your winch, we're talking about 300, 400 amps, you can be drawing through your system. So very quickly, your vehicle's battery is going to lose voltage and not be able to power the winch at all. Your alternator is also not going to be able to keep up. So there are a number of things you can do. You can upgrade your batteries, but that will only get you so far. You can upgrade your alternator, and if you're doing a lot of winching, that is a very plausible option to supply more current into the system and to keep the battery at a higher voltage. But one of the things that you can do is drive safely as you're winching. As I said in tip number 7, driving and winching at the same time is the optimal way to minimise the risk to the vehicle, but also to the winch, and to help both work hand in hand. But it also means that you're lifting the rev slightly, which means the alternator is working more efficiently and putting more current back into the system. So driving, keeping the revs up a little bit whilst you're winching is the best way to go to optimise power for longer to your winch. So we get this question a lot. The best thing you can do to your winch, guys, is not strip it down, rebuild it, not grease it, not wash it. The simplest thing you can do to maintain your winch is use it. So once a month, guys, when you've got a little bit of time, pull the cable out. Even if it's only 3, 4, 5 metres, run it back in under load, and that's all you need to do. That's enough to keep the moisture out of the electrical system. It's enough to keep the contacts in good condition. It's enough to keep the grease spread around and everything moving and working properly. A simple thing to do, most people overlook it, but the best thing you can do is go out and get stuck, or if you're not going out regularly and getting stuck and using your winch, just run it out at home, run it back in, and that is A101 winch maintenance. Tip number 10, we're at the end now. This tip is to work with a company that is innovating, that is leading the way. Not somebody who's copying or doing the same as everybody else, and that is one of the main reasons of why I work with Carbon Off-Road. Now, when we say innovating, these guys are about to release something that is going to transform the market, the worldwide winching community. It is going to be awesome. They've got a brushless winch coming. We saw it launched at SEMA last year. It's on its way, and I can't wait to get their brushless products into my vehicle and start using them out there on the tracks. So guys, Carbon Off-Road, that's my top 10 tip to make sure you get the best experience from your winching.
If you want to learn more about the winches we use and what the future of off-road winching looks like, click this video here.